All right, let's cross live to our reporter Iviwe Poti, who's with the Commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality, Nomsisi Bata. They are at the Nelson Mandela University out in Port Elizabeth for a quick update. Iviwe, a very good morning to you. Do tell us what is planned for the official proceedings today.
Good morning to you too, Alicia. Definitely, we are at the national launch here at the Nelson Mandela University Mission Vale campus. What I can tell you right now is that a few people are starting to trickle in. However, the seats might look a bit empty, but the main program starting around about 11 o'clock, where we are expecting to hear the main address from President Jacob Zuma, whom will be here for this official launch. We have seen quite a few MECs from the Eastern Cape as well, and a number of dignitaries that have also come through, but mainly we're expecting to see a lot of community members come through. Even outside there is a tent where it's looked to cater for the over numbers and overflow of people that actually might come through. Alicia, if I can just tell you, this year, this 16 days of activism falling at a time in South Africa where we've seen a scourge of violence against women and children, and where we've seen campaigns running through social media and through our communities. The stats looking very scary. 1 in 5 women saying they've been affected by abuse or are being abused. 1 in 3 children also before the age of 18 also affected by abuse, also sexual abuse and emotional abuse. So in terms of stats, South Africa at this stage, it's looking a bit scary, and it's looking like our communities need a lot of intervention. But with me now, we're going to speak to Nomsisi Bata, who's going to tell us a bit more, who comes from the Commission of Gender, who's the National Commissioner, who's going to tell us a bit more in terms of these stats, Mama, that we're talking about when it comes to violence against women and children. 1 in 5 when we talk of women. What are some of the programs that are running in our communities to address these issues that we see?
Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody, even to the listeners and the viewers of Channel 404. We appreciate the space that you're giving us as the Commission for Gender Equality, as a Chapter 9 institution in Section 187 of the Constitution. We are very apprehensive and very worried about the stats, but one thing that we should acknowledge, a lot of work is happening on the ground. We are still very, very concerned about access to justice for women, but we have landmark decisions, verdicts that have come to the court, especially yesterday with the Panayoti case, who has been sentenced to life imprisonment. Hallelujah. And then the Oscar Pistorius case, the appeal court has also extended his sentence. And also the mama who killed the rapist in the Eastern Cape has also, her case was withdrawn. We are seeing some improvement in way the justice cluster and the security cluster are beginning to make interventions and being sensitive to what is happening in the country. However, if you look at Stats SA, the number of young girls between age 12 and 17 that have been forced into marriage, their lives have been shattered. Their access to education in terms of Section 29 and their rights in Section 28 of our Constitution have been killed by men preying on young girls, wanting to marry young girls, forced into marriage, and those parents also accepting money as lobola for the kids. That is appalling, and they are going to rot in jail because the law has been strengthened not only to arrest the perpetrators but to arrest the people who are assisting them. Like in the Panayoti, in the Omotoso case, the Nigerian pastor who is still on trial yesterday, those women who were recruiting young girls for him have been charged, and they are now facing the wrath of the law. We are very happy about that. Let us not forget that South Africa is a signatory and a ratifier of conventions like the United Nations conventions, the regional conventions, the sub-regional conventions, which we report to annually. It is very important when we package our work and when we do our work within the communities integratedly. we must know that that kind of work goes into the world of nations.
And then, Mama, looking at this year's theme, #NotInMyName, and moving forward with South Africa in a non-violent community, what are some of the programs that we may see or will see throughout the year, #365 days, running through our communities to educate and create awareness in terms of what does actually #NotInMyName mean, and how do we bring community members together to fight the scourge of violence?
#NotInMyName emerged from the Men for Change. Men for Change, who are major partners with us, NGOs that are doing amazing work in South Africa, like your Masmanyane Women's Support Center and others, and the church, the religious communities. You saw the massive march in Cape Town, hallelujah, which happened last weekend. It's an illustration of the efforts that are being reinforced and strengthened by South Africa to fight this scourge. We will not rest until gender-based violence in South Africa becomes history.
Thank you so much for your time, Mama. Well, there you have it, Alicia. Communities coming together and also highlighting the fact that communities do need to come together, and government will not rest until we fight the scourge of violence against children and women. Also, social media platforms, people are urged to use them, such as your Womandla sites that we've seen that empower women and also acknowledge the difference that women are making out in our communities. We'll be bringing you more from here as the program unfolds, but for now, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much to our reporter live to us from Port Elizabeth, where, of course, President Jacob Zuma is to officially launch the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And, of course, that is all going to be live here on SABC.